Dude, what's up? I ain't late. I'm actually early. Depends what one you look at. My computer's like 3 minutes slow, like I always say to you guys. What's happening? We are gonna do this $5 million challenge. I literally gave myself $5 million, gonna buy the land or whatever and build my entire farm. And the reason I do this, I really don't even know how much the bank would give me for a loan. So with 5 million, they give me 4 million. Let's see this once, because I might do this through a loan type thing. I haven't really messed with it. We go zero with money. I bet the loan ain't crap. Only 630, just because of my house and the land I'm on. So we could easily transfer this to a loan if I wanted to, but $5 million, we're going to go ahead and build the farm. We are on Taheaton County, and I I made it so the NPCs will plant wheat, oat, and soybeans. This is row crop ready version, so I am not doing corn due to the fact of how it looks. Hey Justin, how you doing? Knock knock. All right, let's see. I don't even really have a good idea in mind for a farm build. Probably going to go more down the line of big crop farmer. Stay away from animals right now. Maybe buy one of the hog buildings later on type deal. Those beans don't look bad. Those aren't the row crop beans. So maybe I could get away with narrow beans on a cedar. I'm not going to go through that right now, because I got it X'd out on this one. We'll just run with regular soybeans and row crop beans. But, yeah, so I kind of oriented the house with this section of the road. Right there's the curve, and right there's the curve. So I kind of like the way it sits. Overlooks the nice valley, river. You got the bridge over here. And, yeah, well, let's start by... This is why I say 5 million, because... Which one is this? Is that even right? No, it's not. It's got dried corn. Alright, where's the other one that... Oh, it's... Okay. I didn't realize it was AGI. So I was just double checking. And I don't even know. It has 2 soybeans, so it should take the row crop soybeans that I made it take. I'm going to kind of map this out real quick just to see what I got before I really place anything, because I'm not going to redo stuff over and over and all my money again and try to figure out where I'm at. I don't even know if I got all the shops that I wanted. I got one in mind. I just got to find it. Uh, I kind of like that. But not the one I was thinking of. Not that one. I was thinking of this one. Be my main shop. Right next to the bench site. Somebody's drive around, come back out. Yeah, let's go with this. All you can change is the roof colors? Ah, it doesn't change the sides? Oh, there we are. You got all sorts of stuff. Shows you how much I've actually messed around with this. I don't know if I want the red. I think I'm gonna go with the gray. Now we're messing with the trim. Get the trim gray. Ish, I guess. Now where's the sidewalls? That one needs to be gray too. What's this one? Ooh. What color should that be, chat? I think I'm... Wow. I don't know how I never knew about this building doing all this. I think I'm gonna do like a black if it's got it for the bottom trim. Should I do a... Alright. Gotta get the gray. Red and gray. I kind of like the red and gray, to tell you the truth. Rather than the white or black. Yeah, let's go with that. I think the bend sight was going to stick about right in there. So now... This is where it always gets interesting. And I'm at that stupid angle, so this is going to be a pain in the butt, but... We can make do. Hey Cody, how you doing? Get it to kind of level out and set. Madden? Oh, Jaden, I'll be back. Calm down. Gotta look right. Alright. This is where the fun begins. Where's that setting? Haha. Oh boy. Oh, one more. Alright. I'm gonna... There you are, Jaden.
Yay.
Welcome, Jaden, to the stream chat. Alright. That's a start. Should have went with the darker red. Get the trusty old fuel barrel out. I need a garage. I don't even know if I got any good little two-stall garages or something.
No, fuck.
Better level that off quick. What are you working on tonight, Jaden?
When are you going to do a $1 million small farm challenge?
Why don't you do it?
Why don't I do it? Do I look like I have the subscriber count to justify a live stream?
Yes.
Oh, fuck. I don't know. Maybe in the winter.
There you go.
I mean, I don't know. That little grain truck I have, it's almost perfect.
I'll take it.
Yeah, I know you want it. I'm surprised you even want it. It's not big enough for your operation.
Oh, trust me, I need it for my other series that I got going.
Oh, what's that?
The little dairy farmer. I shouldn't.
Oh,
It's not necessarily little because I do own a lot of land,
yeah,
but I mean that's about it. Is I just own a lot of land.
fair enough.
What is wrong with these? All right, that's a little bit bigger than what I wanted, but it'll do.
Also, I had a little bit of a hunch to take Julian's S1800 and make the whole S1000 series.
Oh boy.
I mean, it wouldn't be that hard per se, but you know, then I don't know. I, I was running into trouble earlier with the cab. I brought the cab in Blender because I needed a reference for doing the bed, and when I brought it in the Blender, a lot of the normals and faces were fucked.
Hmm.
So that might be an issue.
Gotcha. He doesn't even have that color selected. Damn it.
And something else I don't understand is the fact that when Julian did the quote unquote chicken lights dotted around the truck, they're just reflectors.
Oh really?
Yeah. I mean, like the lights on top of the cab and the two lights on the side of the hood, they're just reflectors.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Why didn't he
No,
make him
I
an
didn't
actual
either.
light?
No, I gotta fix everything around here.
Yeah, he does. Hey Colton, KJ, Simulation Man, what's up, guys? Oh, very nice, Cody. What you got going to? Oh, Deerfield. Ah, yeah, I know that one. Yep. Took me a little bit. I remember that one. Ooh, yay. My most hated, dreadful fucking part. Painting.
Ooh,
Rock.
yummy.
Now to decide how I want these. They will come over there like that. That. Always getting my buttons mixed up on the keyboard.
You know, something else that actually does work out with that grain truck is that not too long ago I took Western Iowa's bins and I got rid of the branding. I kept them all horizontal auger and I made different sizes out of them.
You didn't even
So
keep.
I got the
You didn't keep
what?
the vertical augers.
No, I'm a horizontal auger guy.
Oh dang.
Yeah, I don't know. We used to have a vertical auger on one of our bins, but we took it off because it was giving us such a hard time.
Oh, I fully agree with you. I just hate always, even in game, I hate always bringing the little truck auger over.
Take it lazy.
Nope.
But
Me,
anyway, yeah, I'll probably make more sizes out of it.
my dad did the same thing though with. What the hell is wrong with my keyboard? He did the same thing with his auger. The vertical auger was giving us such a headache with it. We actually got rid of both of the verticals on our bends. And then when we went through and redid the floor on the one, he turned the horizontal auger to a different side, so it's easier to get the truck auger in and out next to the way the buildings were set up from Grandpa.
You know, I want to do like an old bin pack. It even doesn't even have to have a brand on it because majority of the older bins they don't even have brand labels on them. They're just bins.
All right, but you're talking a old small bin pack or what?
Old small bins. Probably between, I don't know, maybe even 1,000 bushels to 15 at the max.
Gotcha.
Get some new dryers on them. I like Western's dryers, but I want something different.
You want old school?
I want old school, big, like not big dryers, but the real fucking loud ones.
No. I don't. Dude, it's been so long since I had to sleep with the dryer fans running. I don't even know if I could do it anymore.
I mean, I can get along with it. It's just it's definitely loud, and God, when you compare it to some of the new bins, like this past year, we put up a new GSI 18,000 bushel bin, and it's not the regular circular fan that is a cylinder and then it goes into the bin. It's one of the kind of side mounted fans, and then it spins on the side and just kind of pushes air in rectangularly. Anyway, the newer fans, it is so quiet compared to the old ones.
Interesting.
Like even when you're a little bit away from it, it's hard to hear.
I didn't know they got them that much better.
And I mean, it's fairly quiet. You stand next to it, and you can actually hear your own thoughts.
What you do? Got your headphones in?
Yeah, like I have any. Give me some DeWalt earbuds.
No.
Yeah.
No. I mean, I don't know. Are you an Apple guy? You got Apple phone?
Yep.
If I was to do it all over again, I would stick with the same brand. In my findings.
Expert findings.
Geez, KJ just spent 2 hours picking up or bailing 280 bales. I don't want anything to do with that.
What informs him?
Mm-hmm.
Jeez. So, fair bit.
It feels like it'd be easier in real life to run around and pick up bales than it is in farm sim.
And I remember my days of being a professional carpet farmer. I used to actually bale actual round bales. I got grass clippings and I got some tape and I made little bales. And I remember one time I made 100 bales.
Oof.
Yeah, I was committed, and I tried to put them like somewhere. We had a garage cat,
Yeah.
and the fucker peed on it, and it got moldy, and then we had to get him out.
I got in trouble for bringing corn into into the house because I'll attract mice and stuff. That was my
Oh.
little.
Man, when I used to be a John Deere fanatic, I had an 8820 combine sitting on my desk. The 1/16 version. Well, not really 1/16. It's more like a bigger than a 1/32 or so. Anyway, I put corn in the bin of it, and that corn probably stayed there for 3 years. I mean, it was still good corn. It just sat there.
Well, right, I get that, but when I brought it in, I was playing with 1/16 scale in the basement, and that was also when we didn't have many farm cats because the dogs took care of them. But the mice love living under the drying bins.
I guess, knock on wood, never really had that much of a mice problem with our bins.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh God. I wouldn't say like it was terrible, but definitely during winter they'd be under there. Oh, I guess it was kind of terrible. Every year we fired up the bins to uh before you put corn in it, you just double check your augers and
Mm-hmm.
stuff. We'd roll out mice all the time.
Do you ever put dust through your bins?
What?
Oh boy.
You say
So
dust?
yeah,
No.
like it's a combination of like dirt and stuff. But anyway, it comes in a bag and you throw it through the fan. What it does is it goes through and kills all the bugs and whatnot.
No, I can't say we were that ever advanced, and I'd never really heard of anybody doing that around here. If you have a bigger site around here, they normally didn't ever really have to clean out their bins because they just cycle grain through it all the time.
Yeah. Well, whatever it does, I mean, it's supposed to, like, how it works is that the dust goes through, and whatever bugs or little creepy crawlers are in there, the dust just basically, it sucks them dry. They dry out. I mean, you get that dust on your lip or something moist, and it'll take the moisture right out.
Gotcha. Way
It's
too many
nasty.
flowers.
You know, if I ever did do a drying bin in Farm Sim, I do want to make it to where you can turn it on and it'll sound loud as fuck.
I'm in.
Remember that 2388 combine of Case Arias's that I had in 2019 or FS19, and I made it to where it had accurate sounds, so whenever you'd be running the damn thing, it'd be loud as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Was it worth it? Probably not, but realism.
Yeah. It's a personal taste is the way I look at it.
Oh yeah. Now I also changed it to where the fill unit level, like the mod where able to turn on the beacons and just sound out a little alarm whenever you get full.
Oh, that's that mod? I was like, why
Yeah.
do my beacons always turn on? Because I absolutely hate that. But yeah.
Yeah, well, anyway, I changed one of the audio files, so now whenever I run a case combine, it plays the little beep sound whenever you get full on the combine that we have.
Interesting. You recorded your beep?
Yeah.
What mod is that again? Because I need to go.
Fill
Edit.
unit level warning?
I think you're right. Because I need to go delete that mod.
God damn it.
Doing a terrible job at looking at the chat tonight. Like normal.
Not really anything happening.
You're mean.
I'm just being honest.
Giving you shit.
Man, I get enough shit today.
Did you?
Actually, I get enough shit every day. I go
Yeah,
throughout
you
my
really
day.
do.
I go throughout my day at school. I mean, even then, my government class, I'm a fucking white supremacist.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I'm
What'd
also
you-
an old man. I'm going on 81.
What the hell did you do to them?
Well, honestly, the old man thing was coming because I do act like an old man sometime. The white supremacist thing probably made some more white lenient jokes. I remember there was this one day I was filling out a vacation form so I could take a day off for farm work, and I go up to my government teacher so he can sign it, and he asked me, "Are you going to your local Klan rally?"
And you said yes.
Well, I didn't say no, but I didn't say yes.
Well, so there's a couple kids that are trying to go as the KKK for Halloween that my son knows, and I'm like, you can go as a pretty white ghost in a white sheet, but that is it. You put the pointed hat on, you're going away.
What are you supposed to be? Oh, I'm a ghost.
I'm a ghost with a pointy hat.
God, that's bad.
That is bad, ain't it? Uh-oh.
What's everybody?
Oh, perfect timing. We're talking about the KKK.
What? What does that have to do with me?
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know.
This kid scares me.
Oh, nice, KJ. Doing some different texture changes on crops. That is one thing I think we're missing in FS. Some good crop textures. What's up, Rooster?
Oh, not much. Just hanging out.
Just chilling like a villain?
Prepping a video right now, trying to get stuff done.
Ooh, nice.
Ooh, what video you putting out?
I did some round bailing on Alma. It was pretty fun.
Mm-hmm. Is Alma pretty good? I only played it on that a little bit.
I am enjoying it. I spent a lot of time making a farm that I'm really invested in now, so
Ah, yes,
Yeah,
that usually traps you in.
yep.
Yeah, I like the little town that's on there. It's just, again, the fields are a little bit too big for my liking.
Yeah, I've noticed the fields are pretty big. I guess my plan is to I might just cut them up into smaller fields. Might just roll some grass in between them, paint some grass in between them.
Ooh, intriguing.
Yeah, but they're pretty big. It took me like an entire in-game day just to
Yeah,
unveil a field at like 3
yeah, they're
speed.
freaking humongous.
You're not using Courseplay anymore?
Well, I didn't use Courseplay for the round bales.
Nah, I got
I
you.
definitely could have, but I ended up not doing that. I used it for the combine. That helped a lot. And I used it for chisel plowing after I was done harvesting, while I was busy raking the field next to it.
That
And
always...
I'm doing it with row crop ready, so I can't do any corn my first year because you can't F12 in row crop ready corn, right? It just becomes a giant
Correct.
mass. So, trying to get through my first year with only wheat and beans, and right now.
That's why, I mean, it sounds really weird to say, but go back to 19 days where you started in the spring.
Yeah.
Just fast forward and
Because I can't even do like oats, right? I can't even do oats because
you can.
my game started. I didn't do them immediately, so I have no.
Oh, yep.
You got to jump on them ASAP, or you don't have a choice.
I think I even missed some. No, that's the wheat. Spring wheat. Or yeah, that's the wheat that was harvested, excuse me, because I put it in so that way they will plant wheat, oats, and soybeans just because you're kind of missing the corn.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, we'll buy this one. Now to buy some vehicles.
Is this Tahitian?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I did like Tahitian a little bit. I did play on it a good bit, but I don't know. It was starting to get a little laggy and just wasn't quite what exactly I wanted. Still, though, very good. Definitely, to an extent, worth the $20.
I think the fields are still a little big. Some people say they're a little small. But it all depends on which way you're gonna roll with it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. You just gotta try and cater to all markets at this point because it's so divided.
I wouldn't even say that. You got to make what you want to make, and the people that enjoy it will play on it. It's so hard to stay in a mod if you don't like it personally either. Uh,
You been working on anything, Rooster?
What?
You been working on anything, Rooster?
I'm working on a couple projects. One of them most people kind of know about, and one of them nobody knows about.
Ooh. Do I know about the second one?
No, but you might enjoy it. You might get a kick
Ooh.
out of it.
Ooh.
I can think of a couple people specifically that might get a kick out of this mod, so.
Are you going to tell me?
Not right now.
thanks, Stiffy. Oh, jeez, don't look at the chat.
Oh, my
Oh no,
God.
I'm looking at it right now. It says a funny word.
Don't you dare say it.
Your 15 minutes is up.
Shh.
Your credit card has expired. You can't hold me back now.
My credit card. What credit card?
Fuck, I don't know.
I don't even know if we really have one, to tell you the truth.
I mean, I sure as shit don't, so.
Don't get one either.
But I gotta build my credit score.
Yeah, I fully understand that. But they're dangerous.
Yeah, they are. I know. Damn it. Fucking hose.
Shh.
God damn.
Stiffy, you just got the combine. You got some decent credit. Well, you're building credit, I should say. KJ, I'm fully with you on that one. Keep messing with it. You'll get it to the point you like it. Cornheads. Well, hold on. Maybe I should get a planner first. See what size planner I want. I haven't even downloaded any of those John Deeres that are real crap ready yet.
Yeah, what's the difference with them? Why do you have to do a different one?
The headers?
Yeah.
No.
He just did it for downloads.
Yeah.
They're not any different. He just put row crap ready on it, and that would make people excited about it.
I didn't even know I had this planner.
You're talking about Tired Iron's update to the
Yeah, that's what.
Two headers.
Titan headers, right?
Yeah, that's what he's
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah, they're no different. There's no difference. Spoiler alert.
Well, I'll be damned. Maybe I should have done a real crop ready version of my combines.
You should just re-release the exact same combine with the row crap ready to get a ton more downloads.
I know, but the problem is I'd have to re-release the whole freaking thing unlike Tired, who only had his mods in individual folders.
Mm-hmm.
That is one thing I just do not like. To his own, but I personally like to have one thing in one little itty bitty package.
I agree. I have, yeah, it all. Yeah, I get it.
Ah.
Oh.
He just did the all crop row crop then.
Yeah, he updated a couple things.
Maybe I didn't grab his latest mod with it then. I don't know.
I don't know. He just fixed a couple issues. It was having some connection issues.
KJ doesn't need a credit card. Yeah, buddy.
I don't know.
Stiffy, you need to upgrade, bud. Stiffmeister. Yeah, that just brings back teenage years. Do these things still bounce around? I think they do.
Are you going to do anything exciting for Halloween?
Oh yeah.
What does that mean?
Oh yeah.
Wanna-
Oh, there's a great Halloween parade we always go to. Every year down in Galena, Illinois. The town swells to like well over 4 times its size. And the parade lasts probably a good hour, I think. But it only goes, oh god, what is that, like 6 or 8 blocks? But they just got a massive amount of entries in. And they have a contest every year with it too. So best float. I mean, I don't know. It's just one of those things we've always done ever since boy was little. We kept doing it, and I probably won't spend my Halloween weekend any different.
I'm gonna go and get drunk and party hardy.
No.
Well, neither am I, so.
I wanted to go to some haunted houses, but the woman does not like them, so I am not allowed.
Yeah, I've always been invited to all that sort of stuff. Well, sometimes invited to go just do Halloween stuff, but no, I just stay home and I shell corn because that's what I enjoy doing. So
Yes. Yes.
at least I won't have any run-ins with killer clowns.
See, that's one thing I never really understood. If there was a psychopath out there enough to do it, wouldn't he go out on Halloween and do it? There was a news story. God, where was that from? It was overseas. And the radio station over here calls it Daily Dumbass. And every day they post or tell us a news story. Usually it's from Florida. This time it was overseas, and somebody had a Halloween decoration. Hold on. Damn dog. But anyways, the Halloween decoration out in their front yard, they said there was, nobody realized it, but there was a dead body sitting out there for 3 days before they actually realized it was a real body. I was just like, yeah, that sounds about right. Make it 3 days out there. Ooh, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to. Oh, come on. Got my speed turned up way too high.
I don't know. I mean, sometimes they just don't know what Halloween is because they came from space or something like that.
Oh wait, I need this one.
Cypher, you wouldn't have that cylinder drive problem if it was an actual flow. Hey, right, Combine.
Oof. Burn.
Oh yeah, I really fucking shivered his timbers there.
He should have bought red one anyways.
Nah, it wouldn't be on fire. The rear axle would just be broke.
Yes. Yes.
See, I never really understood why exactly the rear axles went out so bad. I know that on the 14 combines, it was kind of a problem with the front ones because they would go out, but even then, it was an earlier model combine, and they weren't necessarily built for heavy headers at the time because they just weren't big enough for heavy headers, so they didn't really have a heavy-duty final drive. But the rear axles, I never really understood. Now, they didn't make much improvement between the starting 14 combines rear axle to the like 2388 axles. They were kind of the same, maybe a little bit more bulkier made, but there's not really much change. So maybe they could have changed that a little bit, but it's not a complete issue that needs to be addressed immediately. It's just something that happens from time to time. And plus, you probably really have to bounce that thing around to get that axle to break.
Eh.
Yeah, you gonna fucking say something there, bud?
No, I got nothing to say. I never ran a case combine. I think the only one I've ever been in was a 7088 series that my friend had.
Yeah, it's pretty close. It's the same legacy model combine. Well, a majority of the combines that had the rear axles break on them were two-wheel drive combines, so it didn't matter. I haven't really heard much about the four-wheel drive combines. I haven't really heard much of the rear axle braking on them.
Yeah, we're not grabbing that 2-track. Oh god, I don't even know what decent sized tractor to go with. For an auger wagon, planter tractor.
Also, another thing I learned about, speaking of combines, I think I definitely could do a 16 combine now, as I learned one of my friends at school, who lives on a farm, has a 1660. So, easy reference pictures. From a 48-hour-old 8120. Okay, you really got to rip that rear axle.
All you gotta do is hook a log chain to it.
Yeah, good point. Or even then, just it might be a lemon or something. I don't know. Oh, yeah, that'll do it.
I knew it.
That's where I hear a lot of the rear axles breaking was because they chained it to the axle when you're supposed to do it to the frame.
Uh-huh.
Y'all seen Case's new combine yet?
No, what'd they do?
Well, for starters, which the trend is going for, they made the side paneling more, how should I put this?
Appealing?
Straight edge and hard angles.
Oh.
Swoopy. Swoopy sounds more like woo 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 instead of whoop. If you want to put design into words. Like, swoopy sounds more wavy than rigid. Yeah, rigid, there's a word.
Man, you had a lot of trouble finding that word.
I have a lot of trouble finding a lot of words, okay?
That ain't the only thing you have trouble finding.
Okay. Let's see how it is. Just you wait.
He walked into that one.
God, I cannot catch a break with you people.
It's fun to make fun of you. when I had
Yeah.
nobody else to make fun of.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. Maybe one day when we get someone in here who's younger than me, we'll pick on him.
You can pick on anybody you want. Don't be scared.
Well, I don't know what to pick on you for, and even then, if I picked on you, you'd probably show up to my house and turn me into a fucking pancake.
That's a little farther than what I want to do. Now, yes, Stiffy, you live a lot closer than JCL, so you better watch out.
I don't even know who this guy is.
Oh, met him in the co-op Discord. And he, do you even know who Stiffmeister is?
Nope.
You need to go watch American Pie.
No, he doesn't.
He isn't that young anymore. Yes, he does.
Alright, let's see what this is. I pulled up my browser.
All right. I am muting myself right now.
Holy shit, that's a lot of boobs. Do I want to watch the trailer? Has there even a trailer? Oh, hang on.
He really ran away.
American Pie is a
Rooster!
film series. American Pie is a film series consisting of 4 sex comedy films. Huh. Oh, okay, makes sense. Steve Stifler and Steve Stifler mom. Okay.
Stifler.
Stifler.
Stifler. Stiffmeister!
Interesting. I'll have to
What's
watch it sometime.
What's the other redhead one's name on there? What's he always go by? Shermanator. There it is.
Terminator.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to remember when these kids were making this movie, they were like, why can't I think of that movie? No. Terminator was like a huge thing back then.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I know that, but the whole... They were based off of all the big movies and everything back then, back in the day. Oh, what the heck? Jono's heads don't want to stay on here? What?
They were high schoolers, so you mean I have a chance?
No.
Damn it.
You don't go out and party, you just stay at home and do field work.
Well, I can change that. I can go out and be party with all the cool kids.
It's not worth it.
Look, I've been dry since July. I need something in my life.
Careful what you wish for. Yeah, now it's on the header cart. What the heck?
I don't know. Well, I think I'm a cool kid. I mean, my body temperature is a little lower than what the average is.
Jaden over here being Jaden. No, I don't know, but dude, I did the same thing you did. During harvest or any field work, I stayed home. Summertime was playtime. Summer and winter.
Yeah, definitely. Well, even then, my summertime is filled with hay, so.
Oh yeah, that's right. You guys don't get as much snow down there either.
We get snow a decent amount. I mean, it's not blizzard conditions, but we get a few inches on the ground.
yeah, you got mountains or hills that you go snowboarding or skiing on. Because that's about all we
Yeah.
do around here.
I don't know. We got I mean, we got some mountains around here. You know, one of them is a ski resort.
Go learn to ski.
I'm good. I tried it once. Never really a big fan.
Do a snowboard, it's easier.
Tried that too.
"10 inches of snow." I didn't think you were that far north, Stiffy.
He said a tenth of an inch.
Oh, 10th of an inch. I didn't even read that right.
Dude, if this freaking these people are talking about getting snow, and we're getting 77 degrees right now.
Really?
Yeah, I mean the high was 77 today.
They're saying we're supposed to get ice Saturday and Sunday.
Oh, goddamn.
Oh, we are going into a freaking cold snap up here. And I'm not excited about it.
Yeah, I'm not either. I don't know. I prefer to get corn done when it's not freezing cold.
Oh, I agree, but
Makes for good cold starts, though.
oh, that's nothing. We've had snow on the ground by the time Halloween hit before. I mean, it's nothing really that big of a difference up here.
My most hated time of year is when it gets not quite like freezing cold, but like just cold enough and wet and muggy. I hate it so much.
True. When it's this cold and wet, it never dries out. That's what I hate.
I know.
Yeah, sure. Let's go with that. What? The heck did it just do? Stupid Discord.
Look at Discord. What?
No, it's stupid Discord. I was trying to report something to Thunder.
Oh.
I am testing one of his mods right now too, but he was trying to figure out what is causing issues. And I don't know what other mod I have in here to cause issues with his, oh god, what is it called again? Why can't I think of it?
Unit convert?
No, vehicle HUD.
Oh. Moist.
Yeah. Generate. Yay, it worked. Where's the swath? There it is. Okay. Why are you going at an angle there, guy? Oh, we gotta hang over a little bit more. No, Lucas. It will not be coming to all platforms due to the fact it being a 4X. Last time they tried a 4X on console, it did not go through. And this is not out to the public yet. If you would like to be part of the testing team, I don't think the link's in this live stream, but you can find it on my other videos to DR Modding. Would get you a link to his Patreon, which gets you into be a tester. Why is this planter so freaking heavy? Oh, just had to move like that. That dairy farmer, no. No, I will not. The one I am actually looking at to get, which, after looking at it and thinking about it a lot longer, I'm lucky it's not out until November 14th. Thrustmaster came out with a new joystick built for Farm Sim. And really it's built for Giants games in general, so the construction game too. It is a nice looking joystick, but I got the Velocity Flight Stick 1, which gives me dang near every option that that one has too. Which the Flight Stick 1 is a little more expensive. I think it was 150 bucks. And the one from Thrustmaster, what is that? SimTask is what it was called. I would go through thrustmaster.com right now if you want to look at it. Search SimTask. And that is the name of the joystick. It's not out until November 14th. But it is, in my mind, a great joystick to go along, because the 3D Pros that I had, I did not like them as much. They were built cheaper, they're an older model, and in my opinion, it wasn't set up right. But the new joysticks have the scroll pad, bunch of buttons up top and everything, just like the Flight Stick 1. The only thing that this SimTask doesn't have that the Flight Stick does are the 2 sliders. So I have my cruise control set on a slider, and then I have the throttle set on a slider, so I could run the throttle for any tractors that are not CVT. What else do I need? Semi, where are you at? Up here. Oh boy, I don't even know what semis I got in here anymore. How bad is this one? Oof, duh. I don't know. I'll give it a shot. We'll see how bad this actually legs out. What is going on now? We're gonna just make it a farm truck for right now. Hopefully I can get a shorter wheelbase. Which doesn't look like it. There it is. Get rid of all that stuff that doesn't work. Is there a frame color? No, I can't change the frame color on this one. Lights are not right either. I wish I could get rid of the heat shields. Maybe. There we go. Any good miter cuts? Oh, too tall. Who uses Duff anymore? Not me. What's wrong with the fenders? I don't think this truck's finished. No, we are not using that one. I'll just go to, Hams.
That thing is goofy.
It gets better.
Oh boy. And you got quite the truck setup.
Oh, you're a little delayed.
Yeah. I'm always a little delayed.
I forgot about that. We'll go
You know, I'm
short, but
surprised you're not in the co-op.
they don't come in and stream with me much. I knew one of you guys would come around eventually tonight.
Sadly, that was me.
Sadly. I don't mean it bad.
I know.
Can I get rid of the def on here? Yeah, right there. Where the freak are the beacons? Get rid of the beacons. Yep. Whatever, I guess the bumper's not gonna change. No, we go white, black. That gotta be black too. Yeah, sure, let's go with that. Elitin's the only way to go. No more death. We're actually fighting a dozer at work right now with the whole death and regen system on it. There's... In my mind, you might as well just get rid of the whole dang thing, because it ain't worth it. Black. Like normal. Black. I got a lot more money to spend, but this is getting me started right now.
Do you see that stunt that the squad guy Grant Hilbert?
What'd he do?
Oh, that stunt with the two gravity wagons and his 8,000 tractor.
I didn't watch that. I actually watched the video after that. Did he really get stuck on it, or did he just not downshift and stall the tractor?
I don't even know what exactly the variable was, but he went up that hill and he was going pretty fast, and then eventually his tires started slipping, and then he was going up gravel, so his tractor started bouncing him up and down. It was such a mess. I mean, it practically knocked him out of the seat.
Oh, I could believe it. I mean, my personal experience have had. And what size wagons is he running? Is he running 500 or 600s?
I think it's 600.
Yeah, pulling two of them with a with the 8000 series up a hill like that, you do not have enough tractor.
Oh no, not at all.
It isn't even about, like, obviously he had enough power. He's spinning the tires. It is the sheer weight of the tractor is what you need. And we pulled our 600 bushel wagon, and yes, we had 650 bushels on the dang thing before. And I had to go up a decent sized hill. And my dad finally, we had one really bad spring, and it was going to crap. And we left the duals on that through that winter and spring, which sucks when it's icy because you want more weight per square inch, so that way you got more traction. But we left the duals on, and I dang near sank that entire wagon on the gravel road. I came back after that one, and we had to stop. The next day, the big farmer next to us sank his semi on that hill and had it back all the way down that hill. Literally tore the road up. But what I'm trying to get at is we were loading it at 500 bushels then too, because we were trying to meet our contract, and then the co-op that we were hauling to actually allowed us to take a little bit off of it, off the contract. They weren't going to hold us to it just because of the roads, and we couldn't get there, and they couldn't come out to load it with semis anyways, so we got lucky there. But you're not going to have enough tractor for two of them. Well, shoot, even the video I watched, I don't know why, but they were loading the second wagon first. And I'm like, what? No, if it was me, I would load them both half to go through the field, because that field had some pretty decent sized hills on it.
Oh, I bet.
But he started to spin, and no, you shouldn't be in road gear unless you're prepping for the hill in front of you. But even then, you start to hit that hill, and you need to time your downshifts just right to keep the momentum up, but yet at the same time, you don't want to start power hopping like that. Lucas, the one I just bought, the Pete there, that is Ham, half-ass modding. I think that one is on his Patreon. I had his Patreon for a little bit. But honestly, no, it's a challenge to find good semi or truck mods that are not bought and paid for. Then Tahitian map, we are getting somewhat close, but I would say probably another month or two before a public release on Tahitian. I don't know Dave's full plans with it. Don't quote me to that or hold me to it. But that's just my thought. I don't know. I haven't even done any videos this week. I haven't even recorded anything. I haven't done any modding. And I decided to go live streaming instead. To give you guys some content this week. But I'm just not in the mood to do a whole lot right now. What's up, Christopher? Zero, the Roper, I don't know what you want to be called, but yeah, I started with 5 million. I might end up taking it down, or just buying more land. But I don't know. What should I do with it? You guys tell me. Because my plans with this is, ever since I did my last live series, I was going to do everything live streaming. And then I put row crop on Tahitian. And it kind of, well, messed it all up. So, oh god darn it. This better be the one I put it on. It is. But since I messed up my other live, I decided to do this for you guys just to give me something to live stream. Everything will be done on the live stream and only the live stream. And maybe you guys get a little bit of influence on it. Alright, I gotta put the diff locks on. It's gonna drive me nuts. Oh,
Geez, you take those corners any faster?
no, that's what I just said. That was pretty bad. We're just gonna roll with it though.
Man, I could not see any of this going wrong in real life.
I can not see anything wrong about this.
Oh,
Langer.
did you see your trailer do that hop?
Yeah, that needs to be smoothed out there. Langer, go back through and look at a couple of the other versions of Tahitian in Discord, like version 9.4, 9.3, something like that, and look out those mods in there. You might be able to find the hoop barn. I forgot how bad these brakes are on this truck. What do you mean I don't have access to this land? I'm not trying to dump anything. Oh, just smoked the deer. What you got going on, Jaden? Watching a video or something?
No, I was listening to music.
Oh, that was coming through pretty clear. Okay, that tag axle does come down. Sweet. Oh, that's why. Hey, I figured out my throttle issue. My slider was up. Alright, now I get to buy and spend the last $2 million I got. One of my favorite tractors in the Farm Sim series. We're gonna wait the bad boy out. Do light tint.
Well, do you think I should make pinstripes for my green bed?
Pinstripes for, oh. You know, that wouldn't be a bad idea. Would you do a white one down the center or what?
I'm looking at some old grain beds here, and it's mainly just like, how should I put this? Just little bits of like pinstriping on down the grain bed in each, like, I guess, bend that comes out, that pops out.
I probably would. I mean, it is a classic truck,
Yeah.
and it would fit. That's too big. Where's the other vertical till? God darn it. Where are they? I got some in here. I had one other one. Where'd it freaking go? No. There it is. Okay, that's stupid. Not enough room for anything else here, so everything gets shifted to the store, but we'll fix that in a second. It looks like I don't know what brand I want to go with. I'm not brand loyal by any means. It just happens to be I got red and green mods that I like. Okay. I think he left. What do you want? Okay, where's the other? Oh, interesting. I thought I had another at. In Discord, I guess not. Where did my stuff go? I guess I got 2 of them. Huh. I was wondering about that. You guys think I can sell the right one? Oh boy. Which one are we gonna get rid of? Yeah. This one's been here. Yes! Got it right. And the one other thing, I think I am gonna buy an air seeder. Really? That's the toe. Wait, is this toe behind or toe in between? That's toe in between. Hoses out the back like that. Yep. I like the toe behind. I absolutely hate the toe in between. Hello. What's that do? Okay. What is... Oh. So they're saying, interesting, not as much horsepower. What is just the wheel size? Of course we'll go thicker. And then eventually someday upgrade, you know. But for right now we're just gonna roll with it. What else can I fit in there? Not a whole lot. Brandon, thanks for the sub, dude. Which reminds me, if you guys haven't hit the like button, please go ahead and hit the like button. Or the dislike button. I don't care. Alright, vertical till. Yeah, let's throw it in over here. My plans are, for my corn ground, we'll rip it and then VT it. For anything like soybeans, oats, or wheat, or whatever I go around that way, we will just VT it. Which, now that I think of it, I probably will go put... Well, shoot, I can't. I can't go back and put narrow beans in because it won't be in on my save. Oh, I don't know. What's up, Derry? You're muted. Lucas, the best thing I can tell you to find mods, Google them and go down the line. I don't necessarily go through Mod Network. I will entertain looking at Mod Network just to figure out who made it, and then I'll go find their YouTube page or something. Or not YouTube page, Facebook page, or something down those lines to maybe make it easier for you to find stuff. Oh boy. See, what I want to do and what I should do, put narrow beans back in the place of soybeans, which I can do that pretty simple, I guess.
Nope.
What's up, Derry?
Took me a second to figure out my audio.
Gotcha.
What's happening tonight? Spending a lot of money?
Yeah, pretty much. I still got 1.2 million to do. I should have done this a little bit different, but I don't have a whole lot on the farm yet. I want to get a couple more, probably do a semi, maybe change the combine around.
Gotcha.
Few other things. What are you doing? What are you doing? I didn't tell you to unfold. I was like, is it just falling down or what? Are you kidding me? This tractor really got air brakes? Are you crapping me? It always happens this way that I end up freaking modding on a live stream. I absolutely...
Carl Farms is probably based off the base game.
It is. I'll show you guys what I do real quick to get rid of all this stuff when it comes back up. Of course, it's not going to show me. Now I got to remember the mod name. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
AFS Steiger series.
Yep. I swear to God I've done this more than once. And I don't know why I always mess it up unless I did like an update or something.
On the same mod?
Yes. I swear to God I did it on this tractor before.
I wish Mod Hub, like, you could just... I mean, I guess you kind of have to, but it'd be nice if it didn't always force updates or something.
Well, right.
But it kind of has to work for the Mod Hub mods, so I guess the best way around that is renaming.
Well, he doesn't even run off a base game. That's what was so weird about that. I just checked.
It's a custom sound XML.
Yeah, it's not directed to base game, but
He probably just copied it off a base game.
That's what I'm
Because there
thinking
are
too.
some
There's
dollar
already
datas in there.
that. I am not seeing it. There it is.
Goodbye, pesky air brakes.
That drives me nuts. Alright, good there. Make sure I don't forget to save like normal.
One of those things for me where it never bothered me until I knew how to mod and started noticing it.
Yes, that is like...
And then you're like, okay, now I'm obligated to fix it. What's going on?
Yep. So this will also get me going on my 3-day seasons. So we'll just bop out of here. Then I can switch over to narrow soybeans.
Is this Tahitian?
Yeah, real crap. This is how I am going to fix my mess up. I should have left narrow beans in rather than using marks. I guess he did drilled beans, didn't he? They didn't look right to me when I was in game, so I'm just going to grab the narrow beans XML. Yeah, I can do this. Trying to think of how it's going to work not to mess up my save. Oh, come on. Give me the name. That should end up working. There was one other thing I need. There it is. Get rid of the zipped. Now who hit me up? Oh boy. Wrong buttons all the time. So now we should be somewhat set up to go back in game. Maybe. Probably wrong. Of course, there's a freaking graphics driver update. Thanks, game. Or computer, I should say. Need to change the save name so I remember what it is. Game capture back on. And we are golden. Done. Probably not done modding. I'll find something else I need to change. I did finally remember, dude. It was driving me nuts. Everybody was hitting me up about the corn stalks. And base game, because they were going to do the headers with the stalk choppers on it. They were going to actually produce corn stalks under the header. And since they didn't get it fixed, they put in the straw ratio or something like that in the header down to 0.01. So it wouldn't hardly produce anything. And that is in a lot of the headers because everybody just robs base game XMLs, you know?
Wait, so Giants made this base game but never got it fully fleshed out, and so they just nerfed it?
Yes. And
oh my gosh.
I didn't notice it until the last update because I never really paid attention much. But they finally got rid of, in the maize fruit type, they finally got rid of the produces corn stalks, or it would be maize haulm is their technical name that they put it under. They finally got it out of their base game file, but because everybody uses very old starter maps and files, therefore a lot of maps still have that in it. But their headers still to this day have the straw factor. That's what it is. And they have the straw factor set so low that when you use base game headers, they don't produce any straw.
Okay.
Mm,
So long story short, what you're saying is you're going to be able to make headers with stock choppers actually produce corn stalks you can row up and bale.
no, there's a little bit more to it than that. I was going to at one point in time try it. Then it wasn't worth it.
Okay.
Alright, where the heck are you supposed to be then? Oh, I see it now.
Other end.
Yeah, the red dot down here.
It bounces all over the place.
Yes, it does. Perfect. This one ain't yielding crap, though. And this helps me also test a lot of things on the map, too, since I never really do test. I'm always just
But
busy messing with it.
Since you got more of an unlimited budget now.
Well, I just mean, like, the crops, the yielding, the soil types, and that is one thing that
Yeah.
I forgot to do. I need to buy all the soil types, and I don't like running around with the little cart thing, so
Isn't there a console command that can do the whole map?
Yeah, don't do that.
Doesn't work?
It does, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
If you, I don't know what it is, but what? No, why ain't it? Okay, but the last time I tried it, it froze my entire game.
Ooh.
So therefore, I was like, yeah, we're not going to try that on a live stream. Which way is he going now? I just feel like the oats are yielding really poorly right now, and I don't know why. But the game, it was NPC planted, so like that has a lot to do with it.
Probably doesn't have any nitrogen on it then.
Nothing. Which, if you look through when you're making the map in GE, you could technically paint your fields so they're all fertilized. And the game should register that when you start a new save then.
I can't remember why I never started using precision farming. It's never made it into any of my save games. I think there was just something that turned me off when it got first released.
Make sure you use the precision farming off of Mod Hub, and then you grab the Anhydrous add-on. Recently, if you ever use it, I shouldn't say recently, but I think it's Collins Customs did the Anhydrous precision farming. It was precision farming Anhydrous, and he got lost through the updates to the game to the point that it will no longer work. This go around, which I haven't seen it really happen in a lot of other versions of Farm Sim, but this go around has really every update messes with the Lua code. Every freaking update they do something different in there. And I think they're trying to test like the waters of how much updating can they do through the game before they have to come out with a new game, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's the reason behind it. But it just drives me nuts when you go through and change your... If you go through and change all your game code, then you never know if a mod's going to work or not.
Yeah.
I might have messed this save up. It didn't go to days for me. I got it set on 3 days, but it didn't go to days. Still on 1 day seasons.
Doesn't that switch after the day that you're on?
I thought if you saved it and came back in, it would change.
Oh,
It did change the narrow beans, though.
I didn't think that was the case, but I've never tried that either.
That's what I always did, and it worked. But now I don't know. Oh, hey, forgot to open the doors. We'll give it a shot here, Brandon, and see if you and Derry are right. Now my pedal isn't even walking me. I'm gonna have to use that pallet rack for seeds too. Dang it.
You might as well just go for a seed straight truck.
I
You
think
got
you're
that
right.
one.
But did you make one?
If you take the Bison General Pack and you get one of BC Bueller's beds, it's a straight truck.
See, I don't think I got. Maybe I do have BC Bueller's, but I haven't seen it.
On Mod Hub.
I know his are on
Can't
Mod Hub,
remember.
but I don't think I have it in my mods folder.
Gotcha.
Come on, why can't I freaking get the angle right on this thing? The view was messing me up.
You'll have to watch out on that one a little bit because even though you can take the pipe off, the collision is still there.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, you were saying just a straight truck so you could dump into an auger, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah, just one of the grain beds. Although you'd have to have the auger on the cart, or you'd have to get an auger from somewhere else because they don't have one out the back like you see some of them.
Yeah, that's what I thought you meant, is that somebody had the auger already on the truck.
Oh yeah, I don't know if any that do.
Okay, there's the auger, huh? Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Did anybody tell him yet? That's
I
the
don't know
next
if
question.
anyone has. I found it the other day, and I've just been didn't really think to ask or let them know about it. But
Right.
that's just because I've been so busy with other things. That's the last thing I thought of.
Oh, that's always a plus, Brandon. Editing is fun until it isn't. Modding it's fun until it isn't. Put it that way. Perfect way to say it.
They're fun until you set standards.
Ha! Yes.
As soon as you set standards, it either gets really fun if it's a passion project, or it gets downright annoying because you do stuff you know you like you don't you feel like you have to do it and you don't want to.
And that's where I always said this from day one, and people have asked me to make maps before, and quite frankly, I can make a map. I never released my own map, nor do I ever plan to release my own map, because coming home every night, sitting in GE, sculpting, placing a bunch of stuff, and trying to get your farm layouts done right, and my biggest issue, nobody has enough time to make all the buildings for a map themselves. So you'll never get the map true to its area unless you make the buildings. And that's what's always held me back on releasing my own map or making my own map fully. So it was like, no, I'm not going to do that. And then you feel obligated every night after work to come home and sit at your computer and do all your mapping work and everything because they're paying you for it. And like, I'm not a shyster or anything like that, and I'm not saying anything bad about anybody that takes payment for working on a map or a project. But what I am saying is this is a hobby for me. This has never been something that was going to make me money or something that I was supposed to live off of. So it's like, I'm not going to come home and put myself in that situation.
Yeah, right there with you.
And that's one big reason why I said from day one, if you don't enjoy working on it, then don't work on it. You're going to burn yourself out more than what you ever know by working on something that you really don't care for. And there's plenty of edits I've done to everything in Farm Sim that I go, yeah, it's not going to ever come to the time or the day of light due to the fact due to the fact that I didn't invest a whole heck of a lot of time into it. It's one of those mods, that it works for me, but it's not up to my public standards. And I say my public standards because not everybody's standards are the same. And that is exactly how you can get in trouble with burnout.
Yeah, that's for sure. Even like some of the projects I've had the most fun working on, if I just go too hard at it or I start trying to do too much where I don't like doing it, then I just like, well, shoot, I don't want to mod. I don't want to do this right now. And then you just get that bad taste in your mouth and you can't get into it for a couple weeks.
Yep. I always try to keep it interesting and try to do something different. When I go to mod, when I come home and I say I'm going to mod, I try to pick something that is relatively easy. Otherwise, I just won't do it. And I'm a procrastinator, terrible at it, dude. I'll procrastinate
I'm right there with you.
Everything.
I'm pretty bad at it myself.
It's not even Brandon, I get it, and it's not necessarily even about being perfect. It's just about really when I first started modding, I did release a couple of my edits. Yes, I asked permission and got permission to do that, especially for the maps. And even back then, it was like people would come back to you and say they don't like this, don't like that, and that's why I hid for a long time. And then I got into making videos and streaming, and it's a whole different world, but yet at the same time, the videos I do make trying to show you guys stuff, I get bombarded with questions all the time, and it's fine. I can usually answer the questions and help you. I have seen a lot of errors. I've also made a lot of mistakes myself and can probably guess what mistake you made. But it comes down to the limited amount of time, and when you release something publicly, you got to be ready to do an update. And Derry, I know
Oh, yeah.
you know what I mean. And it is
I've been there.
you're going to hear it from everybody whether you ask for it or not.
Although, I mean, yes, obviously you have to do updates, but I don't usually get as many as I think I'll get if I put in enough time and thought before I release it, which is why I don't like releasing stuff if it hasn't had at least 2 weeks of testing. I mean, that was different when I was starting out modding, or I maybe just missed a couple things. There's always an update to be done. But it usually depends on how much time you put into it
Yep.
and not putting pressure on yourself to put in like a minimal amount of time just so you can get it out because the community has expectations.
The and you know as well as I do, the best thing you can ever do is not show your mod off until you know it's about ready, because then
Oh yeah.
they're just going to hound you and pester you about it. And quite frankly, I see the best publicity from your friends that are testing it than you get from your own. Make one post of you on your own and then let your friends post for you, and that gets it out a lot farther because everybody has a different following. But you got to be prepared to, okay, we're through a week of testing. Now I can share some photos and everything. I think I got everything. So that way, within a month or so, you know it's ready for a public release. And then you can take the harshness from the community saying this and that, and my conflict this and my conflict that. It's just one of those, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what I've come to learn as I do more and more, and seeing other modders who don't necessarily do that and have their projects ready to, they talk about them way before they're released, and they just get bombarded with questions. So that's where I'm at right now. I mean, you know, like I've got a couple projects that I'm not going to talk about here because obviously
Well, right.
I don't want to talk about them until I'm ready. And it just takes off that pressure of like the community knows I'm doing this, and I'm going to feel really bad if I don't do it.
Yep.
And there's absolutely no pressure for me to mod right now, because while they may get that I'm modding, they don't know what I'm doing. It's just working at my own pace, and it takes off a lot of that pressure.
And just like that dairy farmer said here, deer, DD, that's the worst part about going to Mod Hub right there, is everybody's hoping that it gets released. Once you submit a mod to the Mod Hub, you are no longer in control. It could come back to you.
Control at that point.
Right, it could come back to you and it could have a list of errors and it was your third time submitting it and everything, so then it's going to take you that much longer to fix it or change it or figure out how to do it. But even when it passes, they still might hold it for another day or two or longer, and that, I don't know. Yeah, it's just one of those really hard deals, and that's why I said I will never put anything to Mod Hub, because the limited amount of time I got right now to mod, I couldn't imagine being at work, getting that email, or waking up and getting that email and going, wow, I got a lot of shit to fix.
Yeah, and I think that's why Rooster's video on sending mods to Mod Hub is such a godsend for people to just be like, hey, You don't know why I'm not doing mods on ModHub? Here, watch this. This goes through like all of the reasons.
Oh yeah, and I mean I've talked with modder after modder and modder about this, and they they all have their different reasons. My biggest complaint with ModHub is it seemed like 22, and I fully get this. They're trying to cut down all those people literally grabbing base game tractors and just saying, here's a shit ton of wheel options and color options, put it on ModHub. I fully get that. There should be some rules saying, like, you need to do more than just colored options and wheel options for our tractors. Now, don't get me wrong, Giants tractors did not have anything but buckle duals until the first update, and that is when I want to say the Case tractor came out with hub duals, which that is another whole story on your own, but we all see it every single game. Every modder sees it if you've modded. It is quick converts, quick color changes and edits to base game stuff, and it just floods the internet. And that's literally just people trying to throw stuff out as quick as possible, and that's not where I'm at. Even when 22 came out and Tyson was doing a lot of converts and everything, I was doing converts also. No, I didn't plan on releasing them, but Tyson had permission well before to release everything, and even his came back with issues. And then every single game update, you got to be ready for your mod to be broken, and that's what sucks.
Especially early on, it's a hard game to play.
Yeah.
Like, not the game itself, but just the idea of having to get those mods going. But yeah. And what's amazing is that there was actually a fair number of script mods that made it over super quick.
Yes, in my opinion, they did it dang near right from the 19 to 22. There was very little change that came with the new game.
Yep.
But now they've also been, like I said before, implementing new scripts or new game code to every update. So that is throwing a lot of scripts, and that's where you see these script modders go, oh crap, it's broken. I gotta hurry up. Within 3 days or more, they got the update out, but they got to go back through. I mean, your mods that you're used to, the script mods that you're used to having, is now broken, and you don't want to play the game. So I just feel the pressure for those guys alone, and it's like, yeah, I need to take the pressure off myself. I'm not even gonna lie. The last week, it's been a week since I've actually played the game or modded. I just been on Battlefield 4, dude.
I don't have much games besides Farming Simulator and ATS to play, so this is really all I got. My roommate's been getting on me about that. He tells me, hey, look for a sale, get something else. And it's like, dude, I want to farm.
Oh, I fully get it. And I go through phases. But, like, Call of Duty, Battlefield are the two games that I've played forever. Dairy Farmer and Brandon, I'm fully with you guys. There's been a lot of controversy on both ends of this whole deal. And Giants does what they do. Obviously, they're the creator of the game and they got that option. But it is, I mean, it's kind of out of your hands once you're at the ModHub level. And it's proven. I've seen it. Rooster's a great example, and I can use them. His chisel plow, mulch tiller, whatever you want to call it, his downloads in that short amount of time from being exposed to ModHub and all platforms, and Rooster's a great modder for that. He has it figured out, and I don't know if I'm right or not. I thought it passed on its first go around, and that
if it wasn't the first, he had very minor issues and got it on the second.
That's what I thought, and that says a lot. But Rooster spent a lot of time on that, and you got to remember all of his years of submitting mods to Mod Hub to get there. So it'll take a new modder, I'd say about 3 years, just to get to the point that he could get his mod to pass within the first or second round of testing. But then you got to remember, in those 3 years, you could have a new game released and have to relearn
Yep.
everything again. So it's like, how much time do you invest into this? And that's where I am. No, nothing to Mod Hub. If I want to share it, I'm going to share it to the PC guys. They can play with it. If they like it and everything, great. If not, delete it out of your mod folder. You're not hurting my feelings. But I spent maybe 4 weeks working on this. Here you go.
And that's where the exception to the rule is base game equipment, because I'd been only modding for, I think it was a year and a half, and I got the Kloss Jaguar on Mod Hub.
Yep.
But that still took me like 3 tries, and I never really was like, you know what, I want to keep doing this.
Right.
Because that Mod Hub testing process is like, this is so much harder than just saying, hey, PC guys, you can play with this, it's error free.
Exactly. That is exactly my point right there.
If it's error free and it's up to the best quality standards that I can hold myself to, then that's a good mod for me, and I don't want to have to go through an extra set of rules and guidelines. As cool as it is to get a mod on Mod Hub and reach those extra standards, it's just not always necessary if you just want to do it for fun.
Exactly. And my last final say about this whatsoever is going to be to the fact you guys submit a mod to Mod Hub and you read off everything they told you you need to change. Now, I want you to go through the game files and read that same thing they sent you on your mod and see if you can find that in their mods, because I guarantee you can't. So therefore, they don't even follow their own guidelines, and that's what aggravates me the most.
A perfect example of this is the John Deere 9000 chopper. Very similar story to the Jaguar. I put it together and I had it ready to send off to Mod Hub, and I sent it to them, and the very first report I got, they told me, you need to lower the poly count on this, the model is too high. That's their base game chopper, which is quote-unquote ready for base game, all platforms.
Yep.
And they're telling me to lower the poly count. It's like, no.
Yep.
You made this, not me.
Yep.
This is literally just my spin on something that should be base game compatible. And they were like, oh yeah, we're sorry about that. But that inconsistently just hit wrong. And I kept trying, but I got to the 3rd try, and they were giving me ridiculous stuff that I didn't even know how to fix. And I was like, you know what, this is part of why I decided I didn't want to do Mod Hub. So I was like, yeah, no.
No, and I think your 8000 series could get on Mod Hub pretty easy and everything, but it is, I shouldn't say get on Mod Hub pretty easy. Your 8000 series is a great tractor, and you've brought it a lot farther than what the released one or the public one was. But what I'm getting at is you send that into Mod Hub. Yeah, it's a great tractor. It plays well. It looks great and all that. They're going to nitpick something apart and give you a damn good reason on why it can't make it to all platforms. But then at the same time, their stuff is high poly and made it on all platforms, no problem.
They'd immediately knock it down for being a million poly.
Well, you already know that.
Yeah, but it's crazy though how smooth it actually plays. But after you get to like 1.1, 1.2 million poly, you start to notice that performance hit. It's right on the edge, and it's still a hefty tractor, but it's so worth it for the detail.
Oh yeah, that's kind of where I'm at, and that's why I like the PC modders and the PC platform on it, because you get to choose then. Yep, I want this high poly mod. I could risk it and see how it's gonna go, and the guys built it to look in perfection. Or you go, well, I don't necessarily want that one because it is a little crazy high poly, but I'm going to take the one that's a little lower quality mod and run with it.
Yeah. Although, don't let truck modders hear us saying this. Like, hey, he just justified my 10 million poly Chevy.
No. We cap it below 1 million. Okay, we're gonna cap it below 1 million.
Yeah, and if it's a truck mod going over 1 million, that's worse than a tractor because you aren't working with like a big massive engine like that. Your engine is smaller. You have less stuff going on the outside. You should not need 1 million poly for a truck unless you've got all the options.
Right, I agree with you. What the heck is a glow marker? I don't see anything different.
That's when you trigger the service markers.
Oh, I got you.
So if you get the glowing, or I don't know if it brings out cones too, or what. Going back to the to touch on the game update thing a little bit though, I'd much rather see more game updates than more game releases.
Oh, I'm right there with you. Because if we could get in the line of, and I always say this over and over, GTA, they proved it that you can make a game last a half a decade or easily a half a decade, right around that mark. And yes, I agree with you need to release a new game every now and again due to the fact the updates in the world. I mean, you think, I mean, my PC is not that bad of a PC, but right away when I bought it, and I kind of did this on purpose, I didn't want to wait for a 40 series GPU, or I didn't want to pay for the 40 series either. But your computer's already outdated. So what do you think a game does if you're not playing the game for the next half decade? And that's where Giants falls short. They just don't plan far enough in the future with what they're putting in their game.
I can always hope that the next game they have is going to be like a long-lasting one that goes for 5 or 6 years, but
I don't think they will.
And I don't see them doing it, but I can have a little bit of hope, partially because they're no longer working under Focus Interactive, and therefore, like, they've already stretched out their timeline from 2 to 3 years. I think they've seen some merit in having an extended lifetime.
But look at it this way. You are selling, what are the normal DLCs? Isn't it like $20? You're selling a $20 DLC. Let's say you sell that 2 times a year instead of your normal $60 to now a regular $70 every 2 years per person. And your DLCs are not always bought. I have yet to buy any of the last few DLCs. But the guys that mod and play this game are more than likely to buy that $70 game every 2 years when it's released. So, the way I always look at it is you can go the microtransaction route, but then you need to capture their interest and your game has to be ready for that. Or you release a game every so many years and you're getting that money every so many years then.
Yeah.
I don't know. You could talk and talk about it, and nobody will ever know until the time actually comes of them releasing information about it.
Yeah, it's really out of our control. We can only speculate for so long.
Right. Okay, the hitch is not movable. That sucks. Could be an
Just
easy
a
fix.
Monaco mod?
No, This is Rocky Mountain Customs second gen that I got a long time ago. I think it was at the beginning of 22.
Gotcha.
And it is a high poly truck mod. I mean, yeah, it kills everything. I got a really good, I got a 3080, and when the 3080 hits the frame drop like that, you know it's high poly. I just haven't gone
Yeah.
and got an update ever since he's been updating that mod, which I really should. But the one I want more is Deer Valley Modding's second gen. I don't know if you ever seen a picture of that one.
I don't think I have.
He had a red second gen sitting in a building, and DR knows him pretty good, and he said he made that building literally just to put in game and put his trucks in there and take pictures. Oh, forgot about the chat. Cunningham. I don't know what I did there. I didn't know if you guys could see it. I can't see it on... Okay, let me see what I actually messed up. I hate it. Every time I click out of the dang screen, my tracker goes as fast as it can. I'll have to look at that Cunningham here in a second. I gotta see why Streamlabs is coming across all janky. Maybe I messed up some of my settings. I don't know if you ever messed with it, Cunningham, but that auto HDR thing, I thought I disabled it, and the more and more I mess with it, I don't think I actually disabled it. So what you guys see is a little bit different than what I see. And I can go like this. Still looks like there's a shadow.
Just your shader settings?
Yeah. You guys kind of tell me when to stop messing with it. Because my screen, I think that's a little bit better. What do you guys think?
I honestly don't notice any difference, but I do have you pulled up on one of my spare monitors, so I think my color's off.
Alright, then I'm going to leave that. I just did a color correction through Streamlabs. And one last thing I need to do then is double check my settings. What am I streaming out at?
$1080.
That's what I thought. Oh. I could kick it up frames per second. I don't know. I think that's the best I'm going to do. I think I'm going to leave it alone if you guys on the stream end say it's good. It's just more clear, less less blocky on my end, and I got the contrast up a little bit more. And it also has quite a bit to do with my monitor. I know that one for a fact because I mess with all my monitor settings and hue and saturation and all that stuff, that it's not really coming through. But I mean, I appreciate you guys helping me get that fixed, but it's like, I want the quality good on your end, and then I always look at it and go, well, it looks good on my end, but I can never seem to get it right. And I think it's Streamlabs. I should have gone with OBS, the actual high end. It just has a lot more stuff you can mess with.
Yeah, it's always good to get that fresh look too.
Brandon's colorblind. Not a whole lot bothers you then, Brandon. I need to set this. I need to get all my auto drive courses set up, but I think I'll do that some other time. We can just burn down here to this big field. That would be pretty simple.
We could see some trucking.
Da 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 da. Yeah. Let's see here. The worst part is when you plan a course for the semi, it won't work for the combine, and vice versa. So you got to remember to do them both at. You got to think of both while you're doing your course.
Yeah. Was in a multiplayer server with some guys the other day on Morris, Manitoba, big
Yep.
10K map, and we were doing a massive sorghum contract. So we had all the trucks on auto drive, and we definitely needed to turn the turn speed down on those semis because they were always flipping on the corners from the pre-defined auto drive route.
Oh yeah. The first thing I do on every piece of equipment before it hits auto drive is corner speed, and then you got to watch some of these truck mods and semis, because if they can go 150 mile an hour, that's the top speed auto drive takes into play right away.
Yep.
So it's like just one of those, remember your settings when you first jump into the vehicle the first time, and you're golden. Cunningham, this is my edit of Real Crop. This is still an older version of the map that I made Real Crop when I tested it just to see if it would work and to get it going. It's not the one that was released to the beta testers. When you're colorblind, dark is darker. I'm not picking on you by any means, Brandon. I'm not colorblind, and I find it fascinating that that can even be a thing. But I'd never lived through it to even know what it's like. It's got to be a pain in the butt. Cunningham, I'm with you. I think there is something messed up in that version, and I haven't looked into it or messed with it. So therefore, I was saying earlier, Cunningham, like, I didn't mod at all. This is actually the first time I played Farm Sim in a week. I've been on Battlefield 4 playing that when I jump on my PC. I'm just not in the mood for some reason. So yeah, I've been kind of slacking this week. Kind of need a break from it anyways. And then I'll jump back into it and double check. I'm just... The only thing that Real Crop could mess up in the game would be the scaling of the files. And the only thing that I could really think that would lag you out that bad, now that I think about it, Cunningham, is if he missed the spray lime plow texture, or not textures, but it's the spray lime, stubble, and roller GRLEs, because then the game's trying to load that stuff in the background, or when you go into your map and it's not correct, so it always scales it weird. Brady, it depends on what you want to do for your first mod. Now, I can tell you, editing a map is actually pretty easy in my mind. It's when you go and decide to do the more in-depth vehicle mods. That's going to be hard because you don't know where to look or what you're looking for or what wording you're looking for and everything. Well, that's why the cart looked weird.
Oop, wrong attacher.
Yep. But Google questions. Google is your best friend when you're first starting out. YouTube, there's a lot of tutorials, videos, and stuff. And if I was to do it all over again, I would learn Blender before I even dove into anything on FS. Now, hindsight, anybody that has done Blender, it seems like that's all they do now is sit in Blender, and they really never play the game a whole lot. But learning Blender is the hardest part, and that's how you get your 3D models to come into the game. So if you want to make a new truck or a new building or a new animal, tree, whatever of that sorts, you need to use Blender. And then from there, go to base game, grab the same mod you're making. If it's a combine, grab one of their combines, look how it's scripted and set up and everything, and duplicate it. Reverse engineer is the best bet on this. And then surround yourself by some knowledgeable guys. Don't ask a million questions. Try to work through it. And then when you go, well, shoot, what is this? More than likely somebody knows.
There's definitely different ways to start out modding too. Like me, I did it a bit different. I started out with the XML, then I got into the i3D along with that. Like XML for me, I don't know how this is going to work for other people because I've taken a fair number of high school programming classes, but XML to me was really easy to read. Like, yeah, so it was really easy to read for me, so I started messing with that. I started with a map, but I got into vehicles pretty quick.
Yep.
And then you just start making those XML edits, like changing things you wish were right on certain mods that maybe the author didn't do it quite how you would do it. Add in little parts like add in a CB radio to a truck or changing out the wheels. That's some XML work too.
Yep.
So building up with the little things. And then you go from the little things, you either start editing some bigger projects or like Squatch said, you go and try and make a model. It took me a while to start doing some things from scratch on modeling because I didn't want to do that at first because I didn't think I had it in me. But once you start just doing some of that, it gets to be pretty fun.
And
or painful, depending on how you want to do it.
Very true. And my biggest thing is I have not learned Blender yet. And like I said before, I'm a procrastinator, but I am on limited amount of time. And the things I have learned in Blender, it seems like I forget right away. And I know GE and the XML side good enough that I know I'm not going to forget it. My next step is learning Blender. But you guys are not going to see me at all for about an entire season. I mean, my thought behind it is maybe this winter I got enough time to learn it. I don't know where my job is going currently to say that I'm going to learn it or commit to saying I'm going to learn it. But my thing is, it's just one of those other programs that me being older like I am and the limited amount of time, I am not a computer genius by any means, and I did not take any programming classes through school. So it's like one of those I don't know, I'm going to invest a lot of time in it. And I'm not going to come out of Blender for a while until it's beat into my head that I could skip Blender for 3 months, come back to it, and remember how I'm going to do it. And the biggest thing about modding is everybody has their own way of doing it. You find new things, new programs, the program updates, and all of that. So, I don't know. I toss and turn when I tell somebody on how to start modding, but your best bet is YouTube, reverse engineer things, and that will be a great start for you.
Your modding experience is your own.
Oh, for sure.
You're gonna find a different way to do it than just about every other person out there, but it's gonna be your way that works for you,
Yep.
and you'll find your niche, and you'll find your place to do it. You just start with the little things.
Yeah, I fully agree with you. Hey, where are you going with that freaking header, you stupid... Oh my god, you stupid game. It caught, though. It caught.
Is
That's
that
gonna
one of
be
those
cute.
Demco headers from Custom?
Yeah. It's not their header. It's the...
Yeah, because
It's not the trailer, it's the header.
I don't think the headers have the auto locking feature.
I don't think Jono put them in either.
As neat as the auto locking feature is, it does require the nodes, and so it's not quite as convenient when you want to run a header that doesn't have it.
See, the other time, though, when I put it on with Super Strength, I had no problem, so I don't
Oop.
know. Come on, let me grab it. Oh, hey, that would help.
So yeah, Brady, if you're going for something like that, the biggest thing about building something from scratch, like you're probably going to be doing it from scratch in Blender, is getting measurements, like how many inches long or wide is this toolbar. I mean, if you're working for that company where you're helping with the design of it, it's probably not hard to get your hands on the specs of it. But that'd be a cool project.
The hardest part about that one, Brady, and I'm right there with Derry, would be to learn how not to make it a huge poly bomb. You're looking at performance with many other mods. You got to remember you're going to have a lot of mods in your farmyard, and not all mods are good. Not all mods are created the same, but you need to make sure yours is top tier so it's not going to be the issue one. And with that is just being mindful that you're going to have a lot of poly there. The reason why I like custom modding's planters so much is they got the normal mapping down. So you take the normal map off of their mods, it's going to look like a bunch of cubes. So that would be like a huge thing. I guess he had to go too. Cunningham. I forgot how loud I made this semi. Can't even hardly hear myself talk.
Discord just loves forcing hard updates.
You just had one?
Yeah, or maybe it just crashed and reloaded. It's
No,
happening frequently.
mine did that last week, dude, and I think it's all Discord. Because
Weird.
somebody else, I had it happen to me 3 times one night, and it wasn't quite back to back. But you remember when they changed their name thing too? Like you got your name specified as a shortcut rather than the numbers.
Uh-huh.
I was I got mine pretty early on. And I think with that, they kind of go down the line of when you joined or whatever, I don't know.
Yeah, it was join date roughly.
Right. So obviously they have that kept somewhere in their files. Now, I had those forced updates. Then the next night I was on Discord, somebody was cutting in and out really bad, and they said they had it did the same thing to them. So I'm wondering if like they just don't go down the list and say this is what you got to do or something.
Huh.
Cunningham said they do location updates to servers depending on where you're from and what server you pull from. So that could be your issue too.
That must be something new they're doing, because I definitely didn't have these a couple months ago.
I don't know. It's like I said, I had mine last week and it was strange.
It loads right back up, so not
It
too
kept-
much of a word.
Right, it kept you in the voice call and everything.
Yeah, it even brought me back after a shutdown.
I was just like, well, I guess he had to go too because that's what Jaden did to me. He was just dipped.
He just kind of dropped.
Yep. I didn't even realize it's been 2.5 hours. I am going to have to cut the stream off here soon because I got to work tomorrow. I almost forgot what night it was. Not used
And
to,
the week's not over yet.
oh, I'm not used to streaming on Tuesday night. Or Thursday night. Wow. I'm backwards. I think I'm going to tear a lot of that hill up and plant it to something. That is a steep hill, though. Gotta smooth this road out, also.
Nothing little drainage won't solve.
Depends how you do it. I finally watched Larson Farms for the first time the other night, and I didn't realize they don't do waterways, they just do stand-up pipes. That would drive me nuts, because here we have our waterways. Now, if you get into central Iowa, they got drainage ditches if it's like central Iowa. But where my friend farms, they got pretty flat fields too, but not flat enough that they need to dig a drainage ditch.
Uh-huh.
There, they have a few waterways, but if it's in the flat area that won't drain in between two hills, they will do one stand up, but then you just leave the grass around it and you never pull the stand up off to farm over it. That's what I can't figure out, why they farm over stand up pipes up there in Minnesota.
Mm-hmm. So is that different than tile then? We worry about having not enough water versus having too much water out here.
Yeah, so when I say a stand up pipe, it's the orange stand up tile pipe.
Uh-huh.
And that is directly tied into your drainage tile underneath. And our guys usually we usually don't tile the center of the waterway. Usually. You can specify if you want it done. But here they do 2 tiles on the edge of the waterway, and then you grid tile it according to whatever you want. Some guys really like to try to grid tile it and leave the old clay tiles working, which gets even more difficult. But I mean, like I said, it's all based on preference and what you're going to do. So with the stand-ups, you put them in every so often to get the water to go down in the tile if it's that flat.
Uh-huh.
When my dad finally tiled our home farm, we weren't farming it. It's his cousins that were. We put 40 grand into tiling it. Tiling a quarter, so he tiled roughly 30 acres, let's say. And they seen enough yield difference that they said it was going to pay for itself over the next so many years. I think it was like 3 years. And I mean, I get it because we got that area of my dad's farm is not the hilliest area that he has on there, but that area is the heavy black topsoil that it just needs to dewater. And if you're able to dewater it, your plants do better.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it took me a while to, I mean, I'd watched farming YouTubers for a while, but it took me a while to realize that you guys had to do a significant amount of drainage out there because you guys get so much water. Because up until that point, all I'd ever known is that you need to have so much water, and so if you don't get enough water, you just put irrigation. It's like, oh, you can have too much water. I never thought about that.
And that's why they call us the Corn Belt. We actually get enough water here to grow. And my friend, he's a pretty big farmer with his dad and brother. By the time you figure them all in, they got 300 bushels an acre on corn this year, and it was a quote-unquote drought year.
Wow.
Now, hear me out, though. They put starter on, they side dress, and they drip.
That'll do it.
Right. Now, I want to see... Well, maybe they didn't side dress this year. I almost guarantee they side dressed that field. Because they got 2 Haggies, and they put the side dresser boom on it.
Uh-huh.
But it would be interesting to talk to the guys that ran my dad's field to see what they got this year on that 80, because that's comparable to a lot. And last year they got an average of 248 off of it, and they didn't. I don't think they side dressed last year. I don't even think they put starter on. I think they just dripped. But they do a lot of other dry fertilizer too. So it'd be really interesting to see what they got for this quote-unquote dry drought year. I don't think it was that bad. We got pretty lucky here to get the right rain at the right time of the corn growing to get decent yield. But you out there, yeah, you're kind of hurting for moisture all the time.
Yeah, most years are a drought year, but it kind of varies, and if you know the right people, you can spread out the irrigation water so that it benefits everybody. And it's funny you mentioned your yield. We actually pulled off our best corn silage year this year after all the numbers came in.
Ooh.
So we had pretty good yields. But now, of all things, this was our last year planting 15-inch corn. We're going back to 30.
Really?
So we're going to see where that goes.
You did 15-inch corn.
Silage.
Yeah, I get that.
You can put it a little closer together, and shoot, my dad knows more about it than I do, but you can you get some pretty good yields about it. There's not much difference between planting 15 and 30 on the same population, I don't think. Or at least very similar.
So,
but,
are you putting in the same seed per acre on 15 that you do 30?
I think so. I think they did a lot of comparisons with it to prove it. Not just us, but other guys, west and east.
Well, right. I'm just trying to think. The only thing you'd see the benefit from is the canopy sooner. Just like soybeans. Everybody was going to the drilled soybean look. Drill soybeans over here to get them to canopy sooner so you'd have less spray. So the ground wouldn't dry out near as much and the plant would do better. I fully get that, but if you're going the same population on 15-inch rows as you do 30-inch rows, I can't believe if you're pulling the same yield, I don't know why you go down to 15. I get 22-inch rows, and there's some guys doing twin rows here. I can't remember what the spacing would be by the time you figure that row there. But I don't necessarily see the big difference to have that separate planter setup, and then you can't run as wide of tires either. I mean, ours are normal road track tires, but if you're running 15-inch or 22-inch, you got to have that much skinnier of a tire, that much more compaction if you're going down in between the rows. Which really, I guess the only thing you're going to do is a sprayer. You guys do your own spraying out there, or what do you do?
Yeah, and we just run it with 30-inch. We've got that 8R on 120-inch spacing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just got standard row crops you'd put in 30-inch rows. We just smash it.
But
You kind of
Yeah.
have to. You can't get thin enough with your tires, otherwise you got literal pizza cutters that ain't gonna pull through pivot tracks.
Right, and that's what I was thinking. But then you have your one track that you run for spraying. It's the same thing the custom sprayers do when they do the end rows. You spray it when it's little for pre-emergence or right after the corn comes up. Then you run those same tracks the rest of the year.
Yeah, I can't remember, but I think we only have to spray once because we do some of our application with the planting.
Mm.
We only end up running the sprayer crust once. But yeah, it's kind of like how the Europeans do tram lines. You just follow your headlines
Yep.
on the outside.
Because here, what a lot of people do is they'll put down pre-emergence in the spring before you plant, and then you really only run the sprayer across one more time, unless you're side dressing or dripping nitrogen on. And that's what my friend does. That was terrible timing. Mike just came unplugged. But he does a lot of custom spraying, so they kind of get in and out of there twice a year. By the time if he can't hit the pre-emergence on time, they sometimes come in right after it was planted, which hurts your yield in the spots they drive too. But you got to be careful when you're running self-propelled sprayers, because your tires are just barely enough to fit down the rows to begin with. And then one year he sent me a Snapchat. The farmer said, "It's goosenecked. Run it. I don't care how you run it. Just run it." So he literally took the easiest route to do that field, which was not the same way the roads were planted. He got lucky on that one.
Yeah, I don't know a single guy out here who does pre-emerge, but I don't see them all doing it either. We do one pass with the sprayer after it's come up, and I think on at least some of our pivots, we do nitrogen application through the pivot.
Yeah, yep. That would be huge too. There's very few guys here that actually have pivots. But the other big thing is, like I said, central Iowa, because on both edges you have the river valley. That central Iowa is so flat, they literally have to cut a 15 to 20 foot deep drainage ditch just to get the area to even drain. So they did a lot of custom work out there. Now those guys would be able to run irrigation pretty easy because you just suck right out of the drainage ditch. But at the same time, they're more worried about getting the tile to drain.
Yeah, they're not worrying about making sure they got enough water because they know they're going to get enough.
Yep. Now, I also agree with a lot of the farmers that do run the irrigation because they want to have it in case they need it, which it does pay off if you have a drought year like this year. But then again, if you could apply your spray and nitrogen through your irrigation, that just knocks down a lot of field time and compaction over your entire field. There was a lot of
Northern
guys.
fuel too, especially because those pivots are either electric or hydraulic drive and don't take a lot of input costs to keep going.
You're right. There's a lot of guys up in, where was it? Minnesota that I seen a lot of. No, it was Wisconsin. It was Wisconsin. I was going up towards Chautauqua, which would be like central Wisconsin, and they did a lot of irrigation, which I was really surprised about. But a lot of it looked like it was older irrigation. Some farms didn't run it anymore, and it sat next to the field edge. And then the other farms, it looked like, yeah, they kept it and updated it. So it's all about, like, what is your input cost for the irrigation? How long is it going to take to pay off? And then, is it beneficial for my generation to do it, or should I just not worry about it?
Yep.
I think I'm going to call it. I got to go check on the kid and everything, go to bed too, so. Thanks for stopping by the stream tonight, guys. I appreciate it. Thanks for chatting. Thanks for leaving the like. Even if you left the dislike, thank you. And see you guys later.